welcome to today's episode. Look, I want you to realize that you are running systems right now. In your life, in your business, you have a bunch of systems that are going on. You might call them habits, or you might call them the way that we do things, but there are things getting done in your life, and these actions are leading to results. The thing that you may be running into is that just none of this is documented. None of this is written down. And so the outcome is that you get really variable results from the systems that are being executed. You could have missteps in there. You could have steps that are done differently. You could have variable execution. So on one day, the system gets done, but on another day, it doesn't. You're not even clear when they should be done, or should this system be weekly? Should this system be monthly? And certainly you have limited idea about when systems should have been done but got missed. I want to give you the example. I meant to have a meeting at my medical practice tomorrow, but the practice manager just hasn't sent the reminder. I'm very curious as to what happens. Most likely we're going to have a few people show up. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know what's going to happen. But that system should have been executed that said, hey, send a reminder for the meeting. And this is not uncommon. Most likely you recognize this right now. Yeah, you can see things happening in your life, but they're so variable and so changeable and so inconsistent that it looks like your results are almost luck. You don't know where they came from. You can recognize you've got this going on because when you go to your business, you'll find documentation of processes, documentations of how things are done all over the place. There's no central location for them. You've got some in Evernote, you've got some in Drive, you've got some in Dropbox, you've got some in a booklet. And a bunch of those, it's not even clear how they fit together. It's not documented how those processes go together and get used to create a result. You may even have templates, like forms that you fill in, or templates that you just copy and then fill in. But there's no instructions on how those templates get used. Like, you've got a couple of problems here. One is orphan templates. So the template doesn't have a process. It's got no way of telling how it's being used. Next up, you've got orphan processes. What's an orphan process? A process is an orphan when it has no system, when it's not part of a system. Like, how will you know when it's meant to get used? How will you know who's meant to do it? How would you know anything about that? It's just kind of hanging out by itself. The Lone Ranger of processes, like, oh yeah, I think we used that. Yeah, I'm not really sure when we used that. Actually, we did that one 6 months ago. Not really sure whether we're using that anymore, but we better hang on to it because we might need it. And yeah, we better ask someone why that is there. Does anyone know why this process is there? Like, yeah. And then you look at it and it's half complete, or it doesn't make sense and you don't know how to improve it. This is a nightmare. Realize that this is costing you a fortune. You got way too many people to do the work because everyone's moving so slowly. It's like grinding together a giant mess. So your payroll might be a third, a half, even up to maybe 70% more than it needs to be because you don't get systems. You're like, no, man, they're hard. Systems are hard. Systems, yeah, that's that thing that they wrote about in those books, and like that means the owner gets to go on holidays and not have the business implode. That means that you could sell the business at a massive multiple. But, I'm not going to pay any attention to that because that might mean that, your business runs well, that you have a massive strategic advantage over your competitors, that you can actually implement your marketing and your sales funnels and your advertising consistently. You got some work to do. You can go ahead and even just begin to collate, hey, what do we got? Where are we at? What processes do we have? Start to get organized. Do a bit of a Marie Kondo on your business. But none of that will really make sense unless you get one particular piece in place, and that is understanding how these systems work. What is a system? What does it do? How does it create results? Like, that's what I see systems as. Systems consistently create results. You execute a bunch of steps and you get a result. And if those steps are done accurately, consistently, you'll get the same result over and over and over. And this is boring. But this is also pretty awesome. It means happy clients. It means consistent marketing. It means that you can see what's going on in your business. You can see your numbers, your accounting's done. You can see when you're behind, what's backlogged. Business becomes a little easier. And the good thing is that your clients benefit from this. Your customers benefit from this. Even better, when they start to talk and say, hey, those guys have got their stuff on point, you can handle the growth. Why? Because you got your systems documented. You're like, hey, we need to hire someone. Let's run 803. And you go in there and you run that system and the outcome is a great hire. And you're like, oh, okay, hang on, we've got a great hire. Now maybe we should onboard them. Have we got a system for onboarding? Oh, look, we do. Check this out. We've got a system for onboarding. This is cool. This is something that you should look at. Getting the anatomy of a system down. Is there something more important in your business? Yes, there is fires left, right, and center. But getting this system stuff on point will begin to allow you to put out the fires. And you'll be dealing with smaller fires less commonly. There'll be more time, more space, more functionality for your team, more effectiveness for your team. Or not. Keep paying twice as much as you should be on your payroll. Add all that up and know where that money could have been deployed. Further advertising, further fulfillment improvement, better optics, better team, pay raises, profit. You'd like to get paid for the risk, right, that you took as the entrepreneur, as the business owner, to actually run this show. Like the weight that goes on your shoulders, you got to get a reward for that. Guess what? There's a system for that too. You can buy the book, Profit First. It'll give you the system for how to take your profits and get paid as a reward. It'll even define what profit is. It's a reward for you for having the courage and the guts to go into this crazy adventure of entrepreneurship in the first place. That's your reward. But you don't get any reward if you're wasteful and ineffective in the way that you run your business. And the cause of that is your lack of systems understanding, your lack of systems documentation, and it is something that you must deal with. Those that get this, guess what? Business becomes pretty cool. Pretty cool. The first business is by far the hardest. A lot of the systems that you create will be reusable. You just deploy them and execute, deploy and execute. You don't even need to be the one doing it because the system documentation is there. And you know that those systems will give consistent results. That is what a system is. It gives consistent results. If this is what you want, if this is something that you're like, man, you are speaking my language, I got fires everywhere. I got no idea, and I've got no time to even identify the problem, let alone work out the solution. Then what I want you to do is go to systemio.dev, go through the training. At the end of the training is an opportunity for us to meet and have an initial consultation, look at what's going on specifically for you. There is a calling in you as the entrepreneur to take responsibility to make this world a better place. But you got to get this systems thing dialed in. Head over to systemio.dev. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope you got a lot of value out of this. I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode as we continue this journey into the power of systems and processes in business. See you then.